Welcome back to another ThinkSpree video, your one-stop shop for wild facts, smart thinking, and stories that make you say, wait, that actually happened? Today, we're diving into the thrilling world of high-stakes robberies, the greatest heists in history, and how they got away. Now, let's be clear, we're not encouraging anyone to start cracking safes or planning their own Ocean's 11 operation. This is purely for educational purposes, and maybe a little jaw-dropping entertainment. So sit back, grab your notepad, kidding. Don't take notes, and let's get into it. Let's start with a classic. In 1976, a group of thieves pulled off one of the most cinematic heists ever in Nice, France. Their target? The Société Générale Bank. Their plan? Dig a tunnel. Yes. A tunnel. Over the course of months, Albert Spaghieri and his gang tunneled from the city sewers into the bank's vault. And we're not talking about some tiny crawl space. This was an engineering marvel. They installed electricity, lighting, ventilation, and even a kitchen inside the tunnel. During Bastille Day weekend, when the bank would be closed, they broke through, spent 2 whole days inside the vault, and looted it dry. They opened over 400 safety deposit boxes, took an estimated $30 million in cash, gold, and jewels, and left a note behind that read, "Without hate, without violence, and without weapons." Like, what kind of gentleman burglar PR is that? Spaghieri was eventually caught, but here's where it gets wild. During a court hearing, he literally jumped out a window and escaped. No, really. He jumped from a judge's office window onto a waiting motorcycle and vanished. He lived the rest of his life in South America, giving interviews and posing for photos. The police never got him. Some say crime doesn't pay. In this case, it apparently paid pretty well, and had great weather. Next up, the famous Great Train Robbery of 1963. We're heading to the UK for this one. On August 8, a group of 15 men led by Bruce Reynolds intercepted a Royal Mail train traveling from Glasgow to London. This train wasn't just carrying letters and postcards, it was carrying cash. Lots of it. The gang rigged the signals, stopped the train, overpowered the conductor with an iron bar. Thankfully, he survived, and moved the cash into their truck. They made off with over £2.6 million, which would be around £50 million today. They had planned their escape down to the hour, hiding out in a rented farmhouse while they laid low. But here's where they messed up, they left fingerprints on the Monopoly board. Seriously. The police found the hideout and discovered the gang had passed the time playing board games, with no gloves. Now, imagine being the guy who brought Monopoly. Hey lads, want to kill time before we go on the run forever? Sure, let's do it and also leave behind hard evidence. Eventually, most of the gang was caught and sentenced to hefty prison terms. But Ronnie Biggs, one of the robbers, escaped from prison, fled to Brazil, and lived in freedom for decades, until he voluntarily returned to the UK at age 71. Why? Healthcare. Yeah, British heist meets British priorities. Let's step it up. The Antwerp Diamond Heist of 2003. This one was dubbed the heist of the century. And when you hear the details, you'll see why. The Diamond Center in Antwerp, Belgium, is located in the middle of one of the most secure diamond districts in the world. The vault was protected by infrared sensors, magnetic fields, motion detectors, seismic sensors, a 3,000-pound steel door, and, because why not, a lock with 100 million possible combinations. So how did they break in? Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian thief posing as a diamond dealer, rented office space in the building months in advance. This gave him 24/7 access. Over time, he and his crew disabled every single security system. They used hairspray to block infrared sensors. They built replicas of the vault locks to practice on. They even fooled the security cameras with looped footage. They got into the vault, cleaned out over $100 million in diamonds and jewelry, and left no trace. The vault was still locked the next morning. It took the staff hours to even realize it had been emptied. So how did they get caught? Notar Bartolo tossed a half-eaten sandwich on the side of the road. No joke. A discarded salami sandwich led police to a bag of incriminating evidence. Moral of the story: if you're committing the heist of the century, don't litter. Alright, let's fly across the ocean to Boston, Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, 1990. Two men dressed as police officers showed up at the museum around 1:30 in the morning. They told the security guards they were responding to a disturbance. The guards, against all protocol, let them in. Bad idea. The cops then handcuffed the guards and tied them up in the basement. Over the next 81 minutes, they stole 13 pieces of art, including works by Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas, worth over $500 million today. To this day, it's the largest unsolved art heist in history. None of the paintings have been recovered. There's even an empty frame still hanging on the wall where Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee used to be, left there as a reminder. Despite millions in reward money and countless investigations, no one's been arrested. Some believe it was the mob. Others think the paintings are stashed in someone's private collection, never to be seen again. It's either that or the world's classiest garage sale is coming any day now. Now, if you want sheer scale, look no further than the Central Bank of Iraq robbery in 2003. Unlike the other heists we've covered, this one didn't involve tunnels, disguises, or even clever gadgets. It just involved power. On March 18, just before the US invaded Iraq, Saddam Hussein sent his son Qusay with a handwritten note to the Central Bank of Iraq. The note authorized the withdrawal of nearly $1 billion, yes, with a B, from the National Treasury. They filled trucks with cash and drove off. No alarms, no shootouts, just a family withdrawal, if you will. When Baghdad fell, US troops found hundreds of millions in cash hidden in the walls of palaces. But much of it was never recovered. To this day, billions remain unaccounted for. Honestly, if your bank allows handwritten "My dad says it's okay" notes for billion-dollar withdrawals, you might want to update your security protocols. And now, the Bank of England? No. Let's go weirder: the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist. I swear I'm not making this up. In 2011 and 2012, nearly 3,000 tons of maple syrup were stolen from a storage facility in Quebec. That's over $18 million worth of syrup. The thieves literally siphoned barrels and replaced them with water, hoping no one would notice. You know a country is peaceful when maple syrup theft is one of its biggest criminal cases. Eventually, several suspects were caught and jailed. But the heist revealed just how serious the syrup business is in Canada. The syrup was part of a strategic reserve. Yes, maple syrup has a reserve. It's like OPEC, but stickier. So, what do all these heists have in common? Planning, timing, creativity, and, almost always, some human error that brings it all down. In the end, very few heists go unsolved forever. Evidence gets left behind. People talk. Mistakes are made. And yet, these stories keep happening, because deep down, humans are fascinated with the idea of beating the system. Whether it's a diamond vault or a train full of cash, the thrill of the impossible is too tempting for some. Luckily, for the rest of us, we get to enjoy these stories from the safety of our screens, no ski masks required. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more deep dives into history's wildest, weirdest, and most fascinating moments. This is ThinkSpree, and we'll catch you on the next brainy adventure. Until then, lock your doors, hide your syrup, and remember, even sandwiches can take down criminal masterminds.